Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and it's time to go to the tennis courts of Ouyen, where the president of the Ouyen Lawn Tennis Club, Paul Dean, joins me on the line. They're just about ready to get going again for another night. Great to be with you again, Paul. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Alice. How are you?
Going well indeed, Paul. And very much looking forward to hearing about what's in store for tonight and how things went last Friday evening. Let's go to that fact, and we'll speak about Speed against Tarita last weekend. You certainly had your eyes across this one, Paul. How did it go?
Yeah, Speed Tarita. This match going into it, Speed had a big loss the week before, so they were looking to bounce back. And Tarita, they were looking for their first win for the season, get their season up and going, and turned out to be not a bad sort of a match. Tarita ended up getting their first win for the season in the end there, and Speed's run of losses is now 2 in a row after winning the first two in the ladies/mixed doubles section. It was Speed who got the little win there, slight win there by 4 games. In the men's section there, it was, bear with me for a second there, it was Tarita who had a good win in there in the men's section by 17 games, which set them up for the night there. And in the last section of the night, the mixed extra double section, it was once again Tarita there who won that by 10 games. So that gave them a 23-game win overall. Final scores there, 13 sets of 95 games to Tarita, defeating Speed 5 sets, 72 games. 3-set winners there were Kyle O'Brien, Adam Grace, Bowden Hastings and Belinda O'Brien, all playing for the Tarita team. So a good win there for Tarita.
Now, Kiama were hoping to get off the ground last weekend on a Friday evening. They had Timbero standing in their way. Just tell us how they went in that assignment.
Yeah, Kiama back from the bye from the previous week, looking for their first win for the season. And they almost got it. This game went right down to the last set. There was nothing in it all at the end. Timbero won the ladies/mixed section there by 7 games. The men's section there was won by Kiama. They won that by 9 games. So that put that 2 games in front after those 2 sections going into the last section of the night there. And in that last section, in the mixed extra double section, it was Timbero who won that by 3 games. So that adds up to a 1-game win by Timbero. The fairest margins there. Final score there, 9 sets, 80 games. Timbero defeated Kiama, 9 sets, 79 games. So, sets locked at 9 each, but just the 1 game separating there. 3-set winners there for Timbero were Tanya Doyle and Lexi Munro. And 3-set winners there for the Kiama team were the 2 Nicks, Nick Toe and Nick Vine. So, really good nail-biting finishing on that one there.
Okay, well, looking ahead to tonight's agenda, we've got some very exciting games. We've got the top 2 teams going at it, and then we've got the cellar dwellers going at it, Paul. So let's start with the top 2, Kulwin and Timbero. No doubt the game of the night. Well, we expect it to be anyway. How do you see it going between these 2? Yeah,
Kulwin, they're got a run there. They're undefeated yet this season, and Timbero has won the last 2. I'm hoping Timbero can make it 3 and give Kulwin their first loss for the season. We'll take a bit of beating there. Kulwin's sitting on top of the ladder with a nice healthy percentage, so they've had some healthy wins. They'll take a bit of beating, and hopefully we can put our best foot forward and knock them over.
And I assume that we're going to get a bit of a good old-fashioned scrap between Tarita and Kiama. It's always a bit different when it's individual games being an accumulation of individual games. But nevertheless, there'll be some desperation stakes between these 2 tonight, Paul.
Yeah, bottom 2 teams. Really, Kiama, yet to win a game, and they really need to get their season going. If they lose this, they'll be 2 games. 2 games below the 4th team on the ladder there, so we've still got a few games to go, obviously, but you don't want to be 2 games behind on the bottom of the ladder there, so they really need to win it. Tarita just had the 1 win there, sitting in that 4th place. This will be a really good match there, and if Kiama win it, it'll really tighten the whole competition up. If Tarita win it, it'll sort of separate the teams in the 4 from the bottom. So I'd like to see Kiama win it. And really make it an interesting season. But yeah, we'll see how we go.
Early days yet, but would you say that if Carmel don't win this game tonight, that it's going to be fairly difficult for them to land in the top two this year?
Yeah, top two definitely. They're falling a bit far behind for that. Like we've still got 10 games to go, but when you 2 games below the team above you, and that'll probably may well be 3 or 4 games below the second team if they lose tonight. So probably falling a bit far out of touch from getting the top 2, but they really want to win it, and at least keep in touch with the 4 and go from there.
Now, just in some news that's come out midweek, Paul, I'm not sure how much you're across this, but it's pretty significant stuff. So we've already seen the effects that Saudi Arabia's buying power has had on some sports such as golf, with a live golf tournament in Australia being held in South Australia. There's now new reports coming out that Saudi Arabia is set to compete with Australia's Summer of Tennis with a rival tournament, which could affect Australia's lead-in tournaments prior to the Australian Open commencing. How seriously should people take this news, and in particular fans of tennis?
Yeah, this is the first I've heard of this. Very interesting. I'll have to keep an eye on it. But that would be a big change to the tennis scene as we know it. We're used to having the Australian Open being the big tournament of our country, and for many years. And I've seen what's happened with live golf, and it's it's definitely split the golf fraternity apart. And hopefully they can work things out, and something like that doesn't happen with the tennis, because I quite like the old traditional format of the 4 majors and the ATP and all that going ahead. Hopefully, nothing too drastic happens, but we'll have to watch this space, I guess.
Yeah, and just for those listening who aren't particularly big fans of tennis, when you look at tournaments like the Brisbane Open and things like that, they are pivotal for the up-and-comers, aren't they, in Australia, Paul? Because often you don't get your wild card, or you're not really in that sort of, selection process to feature in the Grand Slams like the Australian Open. So it's pivotal for the youngsters, the 17-year-olds, to really make their name in those lead-in tournaments. Yeah,
that's exactly right. You've got to have them lead-in tournaments. It's not only the big Brisbane Open and the one they have in Sydney and Adelaide. There's also various satellite tournaments they have around the country. They have one in Mildura, I know, and you've got to have those feed-in tournaments, and it all leads into channeling into the players getting to the top. And I'm not sure how this new tennis competition would complement that. I really don't know.
Paul Dean, before I let you go, what's for dinner tonight?
Well, we've got hot weather, so we've sort of put it on hold. We're just going to start a little bit later, let the sun go down, and play the majority of the night under light. So we'll put tea on hold tonight and just play straight through, and enjoy that.
Maybe we need someone cooking up some midnight kebabs or something, Paul, for everyone. But nevertheless, we hope it's a successful night. I'm sure it will be. Paul Dean, President of the Ouyen Lawn Tennis Club, thanks so much for your time. Good luck.
Great. Thank you, Alice. Yep, we look forward to talking to you next week.